this video is for my homeschool moms who have tried the workbooks, you've tried the checklists, you've tried to do everything in a linear, organized way, and it's not working. Maybe you're not procrastinating, maybe you're not lazy, perhaps you just have a different cognitive style. There are, in fact, personalities and cognitive styles which absolutely thrive with spontaneity, adaptability, experimental, and experiential learning. If that's you, that's also me. We can be buddies. Come and hang out. I'm going to share here 5 tips on how to make your homeschool life rich and thriving if you have a more go with the flow, spiral, experimental personality type. All right, number 1, we're going to think in rhythms and anchors. It can be really daunting to be like, here's the 20 things I need to do today. Is it all done on my checklist? Oh my goodness, I'm so blocked in, I'm suffocating. What's the rhythm of the day? I'll give you my personal example. We wake up, everybody needs a high protein breakfast, stabilize those nervous systems. Then when everyone is fed, in the morning is when we do some sort of learning. Then we tidy the house, do some chores around the house. Lunch, the afternoon is dedicated to outside play, play dates, time in nature. Evening is going to be dinner, and then we're going to do some sort of reading, prayer, devotional. Magnesium bath. That's just kind of the general rhythm of the day. Learning in the morning, play in the afternoon. Reconnect before bed. If we look at anchors within our week, same kind of thing. Do you have a piano lesson? Do you have a soccer lesson? Do you have church on Sunday? Do you have family dinners on Fridays? Whatever it is. So there are things that are anchoring you in. There is a flow to your life, but you're not so concerned with lesson 1.1 is done on Monday and lesson 2.2 is done on Tuesday, and allow yourself to flow a little bit more. That being said, tip number 2, once you've kind of identified your rhythm, you've identified your anchor points, think about what you're looking to teach your children or your goals in weeks rather than days. So for example, this year I have a grade 2 and a grade 3. If I look at religious studies, for example, that's something we get marked in. I'm like, we're going to read the whole Old Testament. We have this nice kids Bible. Over the next, 6 months, we're going to read the Old Testament, and we're going to do this cool scroll thing where they have little characters, and we're going to make our own Bible scroll and our own Bible timeline. And maybe there's 3 or 4 little activities I want to do. Sorry, there's a loud helicopter. There he goes. So I'm thinking in a weekly span. And we're going to do those whenever the spirit hits us. For math, for example, we're doing the times table. So I'm going to find my inspiration. I don't love sticking to one particular workbook, but I know there's these songs that help support learning the times tables auditory. I found some beautiful stuff on Etsy that's Waldorf inspired for times tables. And then I have some supportive worksheets. Cool. There's my, over the next 6 months, this is what we're going to learn for math. But thinking in weeks rather than days can help. So this is tip number 3. Unit studies, project learning. That's kind of this idea of, hey, here's the bigger picture. For science, maybe we're going to do a couple unit studies, one on trees, one on mushrooms. And there are these learnings that take a little bit more time rather than being like a worksheet on mushrooms, a worksheet on trees. It gives us time to grow and flow with things. We can come in and out of the project. We can come in and out of the unit study. Now, the great thing with these too is that if you have multiple ages, there's programs like Gather Round where it's specifically designed that you can teach your 2-year-old, your 4-year-old, your 6-year-old all at the same time. So that's kind of the beauty of this project-based learning, unit style learning. Also, if I'm speaking your language, you're probably already very big into real life learning. Whatever we're teaching our children, how is this relevant? How is this a living education? For me personally, I think that's my biggest struggle with the workbooks. We just had to learn about perimeters, like one of the topics the government likes us to learn at this age. And I can't commit to doing like 10 pages on perimeter. What we're going to do instead is take our tape measures and measure the outside of our little house, measure the outside of our pool, measure the outside of the trampoline, whatever, real life learning. How is this applicable? How is your education alive? And again, this looks very different than just checking off some worksheets. We can flow in and out of this learning. I taught my kids about perimeter, and then when they were having playtime the next day, they were just naturally not even regurgitating, but actually applying what we had learned. So realizing and being at peace with the fact that it doesn't always look like writing on a sheet of paper. The roots are percolating or growing a lot deeper than maybe what we're just seeing textbook style. Okay. Another tip, which I really enjoy, especially when we're outside a lot less as the weather's going to get colder, we're going to have big snowstorms coming in the mountains soon. We're not worried about a desk. We're not worried about like the set homeschool table. I mean, maybe that works for you and that's great, but it's more about having learning zones. A learning zone where it promotes movement, it promotes flow, and the learning materials are visually available. Now, this is twofold, because if you're a little bit more of a spiral and less linear kind of mama, you might need to see the learning materials so you stay on track. That happens to me all the time. I bought these beautiful items for art. I have felting, I have needlework, I have little wooden dolls that we're going to be painting. Oops, they've been hiding in my cupboard. I forgot. And because I'm not following a list, I forgot. So keeping the materials that you want to use in the next week or two in a place where you can see might help you, it helps me, but also then for the children, when you have the learning zone that we're already kind of putting this feast in front of them where they can see what's going to be happening for the day or for the week, how that looks in our life. We don't have a desk, we don't have a set homeschool table because we have a small home. We have a fireplace with a little round table, and the night before I'll set out perhaps our little math characters. We have like a whole little math character city thing. I have other videos on our fun math lessons. Or the books that we're going to be reading, or some of the spelling we're going to be working with. And maybe there's 2 spots in our little house where things are set out. So, hey, when we're ready, we're going to tap into this lesson. And then when we feel like it, we can meander over here. And what I love about that is that learning is just such an everyday part of our life in the cabin. The kids can go and already start playing with the math manipulatives. They can already start looking through the books that we're going to read at some point that day. Learning is just kind of always free flowing and open. It's happening outside, it's happening inside. It's just such a part of us. It's not limited to the textbook. So hopefully some of those tips helped you. And I'm just here to say, keep doing what you're doing. I wish you so much luck on your homeschool journey.